Once again, in the magnificent Radical SR8, our 4 intrepid drivers are stuck in traffic as they do an open quali for, what did we say here? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Actually, I believe it's a 2-lap limit. They need to turn in 2 solid, honest-to-God laps for this quali to be over, and then we're going to send them into the cold open race. Checking in on our driver pods. The track is Rudskogen, which maybe or maybe not you've seen before. Obviously, quite the scenic venue for what is sure to be a mess. A little bit of line correction there. Car number 1. So far, the crew very, very silent. Did we start early? No, not to the best of my knowledge. It's 7 p.m. and all the timers fired. You didn't miss anything. No one's thrown a Kit Kat at anyone yet. We did the tagline. Oh, yeah, no, we start the splash screen 5 minutes early just so we can verify that the stream is up and operational and that the green room is plugged in and all that kind of stuff. It's all you missed was the timer. I think this is the most quiet I have ever heard the crew in a cold open race. The SR8 is not exactly an easy car to handle around the track, and I do believe that at least some of our racers have upped their wheels to 15 Newton meters, which means it's also impossible to drive slow. You'd think that that would be motivating them to drive fast. Let's check in. Chap with some nice cautious qualifying in traffic here. Taking the position that as long as he finishes, everything's going to be fine. Space Punies pod just making tiny, tiny little rattles, just enough for me to wonder if I need to go back there and check on something. Mickey a little wide there in traffic. And Drain, who for some reason does not have a scarf or a cap tonight, but does have the lambskin top driving gloves. Once again, upping the fashion in the secret underground racing laboratory.
Right side, clear on the right.
14 seconds left on this quali, then they have to do it for real.
Right side, clear on the right. Left side.
It's going to be a little gravel, a little counter steer, and a little bit of traffic. Oh dear.
You'll have to slow down.
Sir, did you need that part?
That was someone else's car's part.
Car on your left, clear. Left side. Keep to the right. Clear on the left.
Hey, Trap, can you give me an audio check again real quick?
Test.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
All right.
We're going to bump that up just a hair. I want to hear those pretty words. I'm seeing 4 checkers, so you can bring those all back in.
They say you cut the course. You'll have to slow down and give up the time game.
They say you cut the course, Trap. They say you're a rebel. While we wait for the session to advance itself. Uh-oh. Still functional. Mickey, you can bring it in. There's no additive value in getting it all the way to the pits. Trap, if you haven't already, you can advance it. Thank you.
They say you cut the course. You'll have to slow down and give up the time game.
Taking a look at the times here, it looks like the AI mess that we've thrown out there on the SR8 is producing 129s, 130s, and 131s. Looks like our racers tonight are gonna come in and starting at about I'm guessing that's a 135.809 for Space Punies there in Pod 2. Can you scroll that down for me, please? It's not the most successful qualifying session we've ever had. That's okay. It means our humans are starting together for the night. Trap, did you advance the session?
I pushed the button. It's advancing.
There it goes. Guess it was waiting for all the AIs to grid in. This is a standing start. I wish you the best of luck. Who's got the best position to watch this from? Let's watch from Drain.
Oh boy.
Green flag, green flag.
And there they go. Probably could have used a little bit of clutch there and get some wheel spin. Not the fastest launch we've ever seen there, but the real drama is up here at turn 1. Space Puny's making an aggressive apex there when there's still a bunch of people going side by side. Although not a whole lot behind him, so it's probably okay. Mickey up in traffic.
Right side.
Show we don't have the drama detector turned on, unfortunately.
Clear on the right.
Bad time to lose control of that.
Clear.
Aggressive re-entry.
Far right. Still there. Clear on the right. Slow down. You got a penalty for cutting the course.
Drain holding nice tight line there. Drain right behind Space Punies. Goes for the corner.
Stay on the right.
Isn't able to hold the line though. There may be consequences. And out on the big straight. 13 minutes left on the clock. Space Puny's in position 23.
Got to slow down.
Trap in position 28. Mickey in position 26.
Left side. Stay on the right.
Drain in position 24, but doing some gardening out on the side. Let's check in with the team here. You're a morose bunch tonight. Is this are the SR8s a lot to handle?
Well, car wants to go fast, like
Yeah.
even if you don't want it to.
Suppose this is why we don't ask people to talk while they're driving at high speeds, right? Walk it off, Mickey. Walk it off. Trap carrying too much into those S's, getting bit back. Thank you, Shote. That's heard. Shote, how's it now? Is this any better? Nice and tight, Drain. Shote, that was my fault. We don't have auto muting on that particular set of inputs.
You cut that corner.
Oh no,
Slow
you needed
down.
that. Fortunately, no damage is turned on, so the entire effect is cosmetic. Important safety tip. When you've lost the front wheels, no amount of additional wheel turning is going to create any more traction. Slow down, Trap. What we haven't told It's a Trap is that Pod 1's brakes have been substantially altered and engage much faster, much earlier.
That's good to know. Actually useful.
Oh, Space Beauty has almost caught it. Giving up is 23. Do you need me to look somewhere else? I'll go look somewhere else. Good catch there. Again, no amount of additional turning is going to make it turn any faster. You got to slow it down. Drain out in the fresh open air of Norway. Drinking in the countryside. 9 minutes on the clock. Almost losing the rear end there. Now losing the front end. Plenty of track out there to work with. Taking a walk through our standings, we've got Trap, position 28, Space Punies, position 27, Mickey, position 26, and Drain, position 25. It's like 6 seconds behind Drain is the next car, so he's only got to hold on for about 8 minutes here. 8 seconds to the next AI, so we'll see what he can do with that.
Left side. Still there, hold your line. Clear on the left. Left side. Clear on the left.
Space Punies beginning to come up on Mickey. .7. Let's see what happens at the next split here. I think this is catchable in 7 minutes. He's just got to hold it down. Gonna call that 2 seconds at the next split. Oh no!
No.
Disaster! Mickey holds his line, as he should. Solid. Space Punies in hot pursuit. He is hungry. Trying to eat the draft. Not enough space. It's really nice that they put brake lights back there. We race a lot of Formula V with no brake lights. Why is this missile coming towards me?
The brake lights are nice.
Nope, this is going to be the defining drama. We're going to stay right here. Yellow flag up ahead.
You got a toy car on the right.
Whose favor will that work out in? Nice and tight on the inside, gets on it early. And that's going to be... Oh, no! Oh, no! Who gets their butt around first? Wow! Well, that didn't go the way I expected.
Is it a re-entry if I was just on the track the whole time?
He never left in the first place. This is a little bit more of the drama we like
It
to
was
see.
an
in the cold
empathetic
open.
spit out.
About 4 minutes 40 on the clock, and it turns out it's still the same fight. Space Puny's choosing not to dive bomb through there. I would have thought with 4 left he would have taken the shot. I don't know.
We're evolving.
Mickey running hard. A little aggressive, misses the apex, but still on his feet. It's going to be a late apex getting on it.
You got a slight car on the left. Car stops on the left. Left side. Car
And he heads inside. Not quite.
left side. Clear.
They are side by side.
Clear. Car on your left. Still there. Hold your line. Change.
And that's a clean pass. Can he hold it through the apex? Yes, he can. Space Punies pulls away. Two minutes on the clock. Cold open race. Nothing on the line but the prestige and a Kit Kat bar, I guess. I don't know. We're doing a Kit Kat bar thing tonight. Mickey now unfettered by position, letting loose the inner animal. Goals if you only knew. You want to know secret goals? I know a certain driver in Pod 2 that was messing with his GT4 here before showtime. That guy right there.
All that room and I squandered.
Minute 45 to catch Drain. No, that wasn't the moment. Drain's car paradoxically blew up front, which makes it confusing for me. These are the Radical SR8, which we will talk about for a moment, but also I believe we used these in the pilot for one of the feature races, so that talk track is still out there somewhere. It's from the British generation of what if we just built track toys that were technically street legal. $57 seconds left. Space Punies is going to have to be happy with what he's got or do something risky. Advantageous through the S's. Wide on the exit, though.
Go left.
And that'll be that. It's tough being chased. It's tough having someone on your butt. It's Probably even tougher having someone on your butt with like this omniscient voice in the background narrating what's happening to you in real time.
If I do the thing that I know that I hate, I bet they'll this.
Oh no, he's suffering from a tire puncture. Goals. I don't know. Hold the record for distance driven without an aerodynamics package.
Oh, is damage on?
No, but we were referring to the prior race.
Oh, yeah.
No, I wouldn't curse you with damage on a cold open.
Only
see a
psychic
lot-
damage.
We spend a lot of time looking at tow trucks.
Just exactly, only emotional damage in tow trucks. It's a very American experience. It's white flag. Looks like Mickey just pulled into the checkered, so that's going to be all for him. Mickey in traffic. Still driving and striving. And that's it's going to be a checker for Space Punies. There-ish. Nicely done. We've got a checker on trap.
All right, there's checkered flag.
And that's checkered flags all around.
Do some testing. We'll get 'em next time.
Bring them home and bring me a results screen. Trap getting there first. I see a lot of AI names and icons at the top here. Here we have our brave racers. Space Punies winning the cold open for no points awarded, followed by Drain, Mickey, and It's a Trap. We will send everybody back to the green room here, except for It's a Trap, who has graciously volunteered to co-host tonight. I'm going to turn your mic on.
Hello, hello.
Kit Kat?
Sure.
Where are we? Yes. Welcome to Tonight We Race, Seattle's secret underground racing laboratory.
Secret because we can't afford neon signs.
You say that, but wait until we get to bring a trailer. Underground because someone's got to show Seattle how to do public transit.
The racing bit, we hope, is self-explanatory at this point.
And Lab because here on Tonight We Race, we want to expose you to my stream deck. Expose you... Man, Mara, you are all over the place tonight. Let's get it together. Expose you to some of the aspects of simulation that you may not have convenient access to, not all of which necessarily involve racing. Stick around, and maybe we'll do something unwise on camera. I'm Maradine, host and person that cares about fonts, and tonight I'm joined by It's a Trap from the Tuesday crew. Trap, it's week 2. How is the season outlook?
There are cars. They are largely open wheel. They go fast, maybe not as fast as you might think. Sometimes faster than you'd think, but they are all cars.
Fair enough. So let's go to the car slides. Oh, hold on. We're getting a message. We're getting a message in Discord. Oh, is it? Are we really having doubled audio with the two mics now? I need you to make a call, man. Which way was it better? Because we can swap it back to the other direction. We're getting a call here. Run one for today. All right, go ahead and mute back up. Top button. All right, we're back to the bad old way. We're gonna project a lot.
Sounds good.
All right, where were we? Yes. I was going to transfer to the deck, and you were going to tell us about the car we were driving tonight.
Oh yes, this car.
doot.
This car, we remember this car. Before we move on, let's take a look at that. Well, should we look at the race? Or are we
Nah, just go.
Go for the car. All right, that
Oh
was
wait, hold on. Did we bounce all the way forward? What happened here? Where's our wonderful Radical SR8 text box? We've lost our Radical SR8 text box. We're just going to have to continue with. Oh my goodness, the deck is all messed up tonight. It is in fact the SCCA Spec Ford Racer. That wasn't the Radical SR8 at all.
All right. Well, I mean, this was a car. It's the SCCA Spec Ford Racer Ford, one of the first single race cars to gain popularity. I guess it debuted in 1984. The Spec Racer is manufactured and distributed in identical form as a kit to racers nationwide. Now, everyone had the same engine, the same body, the same suspension to work from. This model is from the third generation, dating to 2015, with 135 horsepower, over 1,500 pounds. The little Ford can make 150 on the right straight.
So the track for the opener was I'm going to pronounce this correctly, the Rudskogen Motor Center, which is Norway's oldest paved racetrack. It's 2 miles long. I wonder why they qualify that with paved. 2 miles long and with one of everything in the layout. Rudskogen is Scandinavia's premier motorsport hosting venue. And in addition to hosting spec races, it's also a motorsport training facility and also an all-season off-road track, although that's not the part of it we saw here tonight, obviously. And moving back to the clean, tonight is Tuesday night, which means that we have the Tuesday night racing crew here for the Tuesday League. We're going to introduce our drivers for the night. These are presented. Actually, no. Let's do the news first. We are all out of order tonight with the new deck format. That's unfortunate. Yeah, no, it is the news tonight. I apologize profusely. This is what we get for copying and pasting at the last minute. We are going to do the news, and unfortunately, the bit has already been lost. But the best thing we could find in Formula One that was not just repeated commentary on the Brazil Grand Prix is the fact that Kit Kat is now the official chocolate bar of Formula One. Traff, would you like another Kit Kat?
No, I'm good. I've got a Kit Kat.
Gotcha. You did some research on this. What's the story?
Yeah, apparently Kit Kat is like Nestle's thing, and Nestle doesn't really kind of do it the same way everywhere. But Formula One apparently does do the same thing everywhere. So they are gonna piggyback off of Formula One.
So you're telling me that Nestle does not have water extraction operations every place that Formula One already has tracks?
Water extraction, not so sure about, but Kit Kat is it's a regional thing.
Let's not make this any more complicated than it has to be. Kit Kat is now the official chocolate bar of Formula One, and therefore we have hidden a whole bunch of them around the rack tonight. What else do I got? I pulled this one in. I am actually obviously Formula One Las Vegas coming up. I don't think that there's really a whole lot that can be done to stop Verstappen at this point. Like he's got this locked up. I think he just he needs to stay 2 points competitive for this to be a dead season effectively. But like while looking up the F1 race, I gotta say hats off to the Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
Hats off to the marketing team for Las Vegas. I really love the countdown tweet stream that they've been doing and the artwork they've been doing here. And I really hope that none of that is AI generated because that would be like super disappointing to me. So let's talk through the schedule a little bit. We are on Tuesday night 2, which is, of course, where the Tuesday Night League makes their points. You've already seen the SCCA Spec Racer on Rudskogen. Our feature race 1 for the night is going to be the Radical SR8. See, that's where I was getting the Radical SR8
It's
from.
the Radical SR8.
I have the cars all backwards in my head tonight. This is what I get for having a full-time job. So we're going to do the Radical SR8 on Imola tonight, which is awesome. And then we are going to do the massively overpowered, yet somehow still easy to drive Audi R18 on Suzuka to close out the night. We're going to introduce the drivers. Tonight We Race, we have the Tuesday crew, which contains It's a Trap, who is, of course, doing double duty for us up at the front end tonight. In Pod 2, Space Punies. In Pod 3, Mickey, who still has not given me a better image to use than my AI-generated Skull Mickey smoking in leather jacket. I am told that this is a legally distinct entity for copyright purposes. And of course, Drain, who found a glamour shot to upload to us at the last minute, and so he is now officially the best dressed and best photographed member of the racing team here. Let's talk about the standings. And a reminder for the Tuesday crew, because it is a smaller crew than the Wednesday crew, we are operating on a 5-3-2-1 scoring gradient, and of course 1 point per night for the challenge if the driver manages to get through it, which leaves us at the end of week 1, Space Punies in first with 11 points, followed by Drain in second, and then Mickey and It's a Trap tied in third. The asterisks in this graph, of course, denoting that they won the challenge for themselves on that day, so they have gained a point in that mechanism. Doing the math, you can, of course, surmise that Space Punies won 2 first-place positions. So that brings us to the feature race for the night. We are going to flash the lights in the green room and get everybody to come on out and get their pods pulled back into the practice. And we are going to talk about what we're doing.
Right. So the Radical SR8.
This time, actually, the Radical SR8.
Actually, the Radical SR8. We've seen the Radical SR8 before on the show in the pilot episode, and we can say 3 things about it. It has the engine of a Hayabusa hyperbike, uprated to 500 horsepower.
Stupid.
Has more aerodynamics than a Boeing 737, and you absolutely cannot skip tricep day if you want to drive it, because its lack of power steering and fatty donut tires make it near impossible to steer in the pits.
Unlike the SCCA Ford Racer, which was the first car that we saw tonight.
Yes.
We're taking the SR8 out onto Imola, or more formally, Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari, named after the father-son duo. This is Ferrari's home turf and has hosted the Italian Grand Prix, the San Marino Grand Prix, motorcycle racing, bicycles, and everything in between. Continuously updated since its inception in 1953, this version of Imola can produce incredible top speeds, broken up occasionally by the strategic chicane. Do not zone out, you will regret it. Mm-hmm. And I believe that means it's time for you to get back to your pod. And we are going to hit the pod button. Does anybody need assistance getting back in, or are we all loading in? I'm seeing thumbs up on pods 2 and 4 and 3.
I may need to remember how to get into this.
Oh, I got you.
There it is.
You got it?
Yep.
Great. And the doors don't fall off. That's a very, very good point, Goals. So were you when we were in a 2-mic layout there? Were you getting echo of out of phase inputs or echo of something at the back was still picking up? Because we put in the second microphone very fast tonight. Obviously, we'll do another test session before Wednesday crew comes in. And I hear the actuators going off in the background, which means that almost everyone is loaded in. I'm seeing a couple of bad eye lines there. I'm going to come back and fix that for you. Twindigo, we'll stand up a synthetic channel tomorrow and figure out what's going on there. It was fine in session Dever earlier today. Clearly, something has gone wrong. Trap just getting out of the pit lane and into traffic. Something to note about the Radical SR8, it is not one of the platforms that the iRacing development team has developed an AI against yet, and so it's just going to be the 4 gentlemen out there tonight doing their best.
And this thing doesn't like to downfit.
Yeah, I'm having a similar issue.
Uh,
You need to tap the clutch.
Yeah, I believe this is actually a clutch sequential. You might need to use your clutch pedal in those shifts.
Interesting. Okay.
Goals is verifying you do in fact need a clutch to downshift here. And now you're going to need your undercarriage cleaned. One of the blessings and curses of our setup here is it can do every transmission setup that iRacing can simulate. We can do it natively here, and that unfortunately leads to some fun moments like in the SR8 when you're like, I have to do what? What do you mean I have to match revs? Who matches revs? We're running a little bit ahead of schedule, so we'll give everybody a little bit of practice here before we fire forward.
Pick up that corner and got a slow
Trap eating a black flag, but clearing it instantly because you've only hurt yourself. Mickey with some aggressive braking to make the turn. That's what we like to see.
This is a wild pedal dance.
Very nice. It's probably the best racing look I've seen on screen so far this week. Can't tell if he's in concentration or awe. Still a bit much, but pulls it out. Very nice. All right, that should be a good introductory session here. Trap, go ahead and pull them out. Let's get the quali running. Ooh, please, please, sir, that's government property.
I gotta go for the hot dog.
Is it perhaps because you were not the first in? Can I have both Mickey and Drain exit their sessions, please? We have an unusual circumstance. And all the way back out, Drain, if you please. How about that? No. So this is the This is a bug in iRacing that we encountered a couple of weeks ago, where if there is enough time left in the practice session, it will not let you advance it, despite every pod having administrative rights here, which is unfortunate because we need to advance the race. And so the way we are going to do that tonight, that is fastest and most fair, is we are going to ask everybody to quit. And I'm going to manually recreate the session on pod 1. And I'm going to send Space Punies up here to the front to talk to goals while I'm getting the session set up.
Do I need to withdraw from that?
Yeah, everybody go ahead and click on withdraw.
All right.
Trade me.
Trade? All right.
Is your opportunity to eat some Kit Kat?
Yeah, please.
Oh, yeah. Please, through text, tell me I might not be wearing the right shoes for this car, it seems like.
Hey, throw me a Kit Kat.
Who wants a Kit Kat? Right there. All right. Our sponsor. Heading that way. Yes. Yeah, that's the first car that I've encountered having paddles, yet needing the clutch. Thankfully, didn't need the clutch to upshift. Otherwise, the Vans that I'm wearing are not set up for that. So only up direction quick shifter. Is that actually similar to motorcycle quick shifting, or something separate for? I don't know what shoes would be better. Maybe if I get the whatever the name of the shoes that have the individual toes mapped out for me to get full dexterity on every pedal. But that was a very odd feeling to just be fully down on the RPMs and still not being able to downshift. Bring your own, or does anybody have what's like a cache of jewels, but the same thing for shoes? Like who's got the library of shoes that we could choose from?
Oh, I know what that's called. It's called an amalgamarcos.
Amalgamarcos of shoes?
If it's not, it should be.
Oh. What other footwear? We could do the frogman style. Everyone in swim fins. Everyone in dirt bike boots, I think, would be a good one. Full enduro boots, trying to get articulation on the pedals.
It's the middle one, isn't it? But it's not showing up yet.
There it is.
So I must have been mistaken. What was the car that we were in on the cold open?
It's the SCCA Ford Spec Racer.
Okay. So the Radical is what we were just driving. If you can't tell, I'm very ignorant on the particularities of cars. I just know that pedal goes go, and that pedal goes stop, and this pedal disconnects those two. And it's hard to give commentary on the color commentary on technical difficulties.
The
Stand
beauty
by.
of this project is none of us are qualified to do it.
Well, that's always good. It's like none of us know what we're not supposed to know or not know of what to do.
Well, and if we did, we wouldn't do it.
Yeah, true. We would have been talked out of it by now,
Yeah.
which thankfully,
There it goes.
in the human endeavor and spirit, everyone takes that as a challenge to, but not me. Not me. I can do this. I will be different. Oh, Definitely the green tea flavor of whatever I can find at the M&M market. Because they're not as sweet as a normal like Kit Kat. Although someone gave me an orange cream one too, which was good.
Here, I'll come help you.
You want to come help me? Do you have a favorite flavor of Kit Kat? Besides OG, what is this bad boy?
I'm a fan of the original.
OG.
Although I have a JDM like K truck,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes when you order parts, they'll send you Kit Kats
What?
in like the weird Japanese flavor, like lemonade.
Yeah.
And, like, and that's cool, but it's hard. Actually, Kit Kat Dark is my favorite because I'm a dark chocolate guy.
It's a little less sweet,
Yep.
Join it.
less milk.
All right, session in.
Look,
Session
see,
in?
all I had to do was get up.
Yeah.
I did this for you.
You're all safe
I
for me.
appreciate that.
Bye.
I did this for all of you.
Thank you for vamping. Apologies, folks. That is considerably more technical difficulty than we've ever had in an episode, but we have thrown together the appropriate emergency session, and though they will not have the benefits of practice or really even a full qualifier, they will in fact still get their league points out of Feature Race 1 tonight. A root cause analysis will be performed. We will assign a bar raiser to it, and someone will figure out what has gone wrong here, I'm sure. Kit Kat? It's a qualifier.
We are qualifying.
This is inferior to Japanese Kit Kat in every way. By which I mean Nestle. We'd love a sponsorship. Thank you. Turning in some big times here. The good news is that regardless of their qualifying positions, or even if they don't get a full qualifying lap in, it's just the four of them. And so the start's going to be pretty undramatic regardless.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
Challenge accepted from Pod 2. Great break and turn in. Ah, just a little bit too early on the beans.
So you cut the cord. You'll have to slow down and give up the time go.
I never really took drain for a corner cutter.
And there's the checker already. Huh, all right.
It was a quick one. It was an abbreviated session because we had screwed it up. And by we, I mean I, the only person who has hands on keyboard before showtime.
Oh, that's a handful.
Well, despite the circumstances, this one's still for real, so good luck. At the moment, it's Space Puny's race to lose.
Line up on the left side. Pit road.
No pressure.
Ooh, it Porsche.
You say the pace car's actually
Just going
actually
for it.
putting down some. Is the pace car allowed to send it? To check the rules.
Safety third.
Catch the pace car.
Is it just the 4 of us in here?
Yeah, it's just the
Yes,
4 of you.
yeah.
There's no AI available for the SR8. That is not a car that the development team has gotten around to. Like a lot of the new features that iRacing adds to the engine, they tend to concentrate on things that are currently like in the season or newly added. So like they won't ship a new car without AI, but they haven't backfilled it everywhere else yet. Same thing with tracks. The pace car just... Oh my goodness. I don't think I've seen
There
any
was no
green lights yet. Has anyone seen green lights yet?
There's
or is
no
this
green
gonna
lights.
be a...
Yeah. Are we all gonna get black flag?
There you go.
There it is.
There's the green flag.
Well, this could be over very quickly, depending on how many people... we've got a green-black in Drain's pod.
Yep.
Did not wait for the green. They are definitely going to want you to pit in. As we discovered from the Wednesday crew last week, so you don't have to drive like a I don't even know. I was gonna say like a teenager, but that's exactly not how teenagers drive. You definitely can still drive the car fast. You just have to pit.
Oh, that's good to know.
How much of a penalty has been assigned to you is currently hiding behind your camera, so only you can tell us that. Oh my goodness. Did everybody blow the chicane? Everyone except Space Beauties. There's your pit entry. Probably about to hit your pit speed limit.
Pit box in 10,
Drain, how long they making you wait?
5,
I don't know.
3, 2, 1. Right here.
27 seconds.
Too far back. A little more. He's beckoning you. There you go. Right into the kneecaps. Perfect. Let's go looking for more drama. Space Punies out in front with about a 10-second lead. Mickey, unfortunately, just eating the sand there, and that's going to lengthen that lead substantially.
Oh, your penalty starts when your service is ended? That's
Yes.
ridiculous.
Drain out of Hawk in 5 seconds.
Okay, go.
Don't eat the pit speed limit. Would not be the first time I have stacked myself a second black flag on the way out from a black flag. All right, Drain with a slightly more complicated race now. There's always the risk with how we set these up. When you set them up for standing start, you run the risk of killing everybody off in the first corner. When you set them up with rolling start, you run the risk of everybody jumping the gun on the green. Some excellent lines here, though. Hearing some grunting and groaning back there. That's unfortunate. And they're going to tag you for cutting the course. Isn't that just the worst?
Don't let me in the farmer's market.
Space Punies with an exceptional pace, sitting about 34 seconds up. Trap with an unfortunate corner. Mickey sitting in the 2 position, but eating some sand. Just taking the beach line through that corner. Drain's starting to pick up some time, but still about a lap out. He's got 13 minutes.
Jack.
It's a trap about 12 seconds out of Mickey. Starting to pick up some time. The hydraulics on the clutch pedals making incredible noises back here. I'm guessing not all that, or really any of it's coming through. iRacing also supports simulating the Radical SR10, which we have not chosen to inflict upon our drivers yet. This season is always a distant possibility. Radical actually selling a number of cars in that lineup now at various power and price points. I don't think they have their own spec, but I could be mistaken. If they were going to do that, it would probably be based on the SR3. .50 out per second. And Mickey holding about a 16-second advantage on trap behind him.
Man, this thing is a dogfight.
elaborate your thoughts.
Just kicking everything down here.
From where we're standing, it looks very smooth.
Doesn't feel like it here.
Have you considered that might be because you're sitting on the wrong side of the car?
Yes, that's true.
All the other audio being weird tonight, at least the driver intercom's working.
Keep it up. You're in a great spot.
Everybody settling into their own groove here. It has become a race against their own best lap times. Trap with a clean 159. Space Booze with a clean 144. Mickey with a clean 152. And Drain with a 148. So the first and second pace here about 4 seconds different. There might still be enough time for Drain to get within measurement distance of the other place, but unfortunately that start issue is going to be fatal. Something that the Discord crew was talking about from previous leagues that they had run today was the magnitude of penalties and how that can map into how competitive a race actually is. For instance, we don't run with damage turned on here for the feature races because at the end of the day, you take a fatal hit, you're going to eat a 2 to 3 minute tow. You're going to eat somewhere between a 1 minute and 6 minute pit stop, maybe more, just to get the car roadworthy again. And at that point, it's only a 20-minute long race. What have you actually done? And so we figured damage turned off and just getting spun is probably a sufficient penalty. What that does not account for is big-time penalties like jumping the gun. I don't think that's within our power to change because the race control stuff's pretty static. It's kind of built into the DNA of how iRacing works, but it's something worth taking a look at. Space Puny sawing at the wheel. His best lap now down to a 143. He shaved off a second back there somewhere with 7 minutes remaining. Mickey about a minute 10 behind now. His pace isn't going to bring him up. Trap down to a 153. 23 seconds out behind Mickey. And Drain driving and striving. If anyone, Drain, Goals knows how you feel. Goals, of course, in the Tuesday 1 session last week, took his start penalty and then ignored the black flag and got deked and DNF'd. Did come back to take first in the second feature race, though.
Car in P1, just set the fastest lap. 3.174.
Space Punies quickening the pace, now sitting at 133.17. Excuse me, 143.17. Drain with 4 minutes 50 left on the clock, now within 19 seconds of Pod 1. With roughly estimating 2 laps plus left, probably not going to be enough, but it's been a healthy recovery in terms of time is concerned.
You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is 8.9 seconds.
Space Punies flying through, clearing 150 miles an hour with a 142.4. He is shaving off about half a second to lap at this point. Drain with the gap on Trap now down to 8 seconds.
You got a slow car on the right. Gaining on the car in front. The gap is 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Oh no! It's a Trap escapes and will live another day. I had $1 for every time I blew my impending comeback. Ever lost in the ditch, I'd have like $6. Which isn't a lot of money, but it shows you I have a problem. Nicky now 139 on Space Punies. But his best improved to 151. He's picking up the pace. Very nice. Trap holding is 153. Drain back out on the hunt, 10 seconds back. One thing you can say for him, he is not giving up. 40 seconds left. Space Beauty's coming back through again. Turns in a 1:42.9. Holding that 1:42 pace. The engine overrun through the exhaust, serving as just as good a brake light as the brake lights. That's going to be white flag. Finish strong, you're almost there. Four minutes for drain. Or 4 seconds. How aggressive is he going to be here? Trying to anticipate Trap's line. Gets on it at about the same time. It's going to be enough. Finch, I assume that when you booed, that was a sympathetic boo and not a "this guy sucks" boo, right? Either way, I'll relay the message. Yes, also, yeah. And that's our last checkered flag. They are all across the line. Space Beauties with a skidding stop. Very nice. No celebratory donut. And that was a brutal, savage race where everything that could have gone wrong went wrong from beginning to end. However, we still take away our times from it. That is going to be Space Punies, Mickey, Drain with a twice failed but thrice successful comeback attempt into third place, and Trap at the back for this one. So go ahead, everyone, and go chill out in the green room. You've earned yourself a beverage, and I need to check and see who we need to keep here, because it is going to be one of you. It's Trap.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Let me get the mic back out in front.
Kit Kat?
Ah, yes, thank you. So, we're going to do the Bring a Trailer Challenge, which, for those of you who are not familiar, we have a couple of criteria. We have, typing while eating is absolutely the worst. We have arranged a series of Bring a Trailer auctions here from bringatrailer.com, who is not our sponsor. And these auctions have a couple of different qualities. The first is that it is an auction that has closed within the last 24 hours. So this is not something you can go out and bid on right now, which is how we prevent Conan from going out and bidding on all the motorcycles that we display here. Although no motorcycles today. And also, each of these auctions had a substantial number of bids on them. So these are not failed auctions in any way, shape, or form. And we also do not include non-completed auctions, which is a shame, because very often the things that go into the hundreds of thousands of dollars tend to not complete, which is a shame. So anyway, real auctions, and Trap's job, indeed everyone's job here, is to tell us which one of these vehicles sold for more money. And so without further ado,
Here we go.
it's a Trap. Your challenge for tonight: a 2012 C63 Benz That is the Kit Kat janitor. We had that conversation earlier, shit. So this is the smallest of the Benz kind of Autobahn bruiser cruisers. It is actually I've got the stats here. I don't know why. I would just read it off from memory here. So this guy's got 119,000 miles on him. My favorite part about this is that it has a FabTech ECU tune. Now, I feel important to call out here that this is a naturally aspirated 6.299 liter engine. And ECU tunes don't really tend to do a whole lot for natural aspiration because there isn't really a whole lot to do. Like maybe you can modify some timings, but there's no boost to increase. Just timings that change. It's got the alloys, blind spot assist, lane keeping assist. It has a clean Carfax, a clean Virginia title. It is in iridium silver, which is literally what every other Mercedes-Benz was made with during that time period.
See a lot of those, yeah.
Heated everything. High flow air filters. They felt it important to call out. They've put high flow air filters in here. So this is about everything I would have expected out of the Benz.
Huh. All right.
The Lexus. The ultra luxury package Lexus, which is in crystal white over ecru leather. Also a V8 4.3 liter. This is a 6-speed automatic. It has heated front seats, cooled front seats, power adjustable, everything. 54,000 miles on it. It is in California and comes with clean Carfax and an owner's manual. However, the title is in Arizona. Anything else interesting here? The steering wheel is wood and leather trimmed. And though it carries the 160 mile an hour speedo, it's probably not likely this car got to 160 miles an hour. The power differential between these two cars is substantial, basically 400, 300 horsepower respectively for the two of them. And so that brings us to where we began, which is you need to make a call.
I do.
The 119,000 mile Benz or the 54,000 ultra luxury package LS430.
So my thought here is the Benz on the left is the car for people who like to drive, and the Lexus is going to be for the people who like to sit in their car.
I take issue with both of those statements, but not for the reasons that you think. I've got strong opinions about both the C63 and the E63 Benzes. They are definitely made for a person that likes to drive in a specific way. They are incredibly quick off the line. They make incredible noises. They're not hard to turn. They're just not the most precise instrument ever. You would not really call them a track car.
They're
in
not
fact,
track cars.
Benz goes to great lengths of making additional series of track focused AMGs to kind of to fix that. As far as a car that you want to sit in, the Lexus is obviously a nicer place to hang out in, no doubt. It's more comfortable. It's got more space, more foot-room. There's still an 8-year difference between the two of them.
There's an 8-year difference, but that mileage, if the mileage is accurate, I feel like the Benz being the newer car, but ultimately I'm going to go with the Lexus.
Trap makes the call of the Lexus. Anyone want to take a swing before we hit the button? All right, your opinion's the only one that matters here. Let's
go.
You
Hey,
are
look at
correct,
that.
sir,
All
by $9,000.
$9,000.
And I think you hit the nail on the head here, which is okay. Let me start. I think the ECU tune on the Benz is absolutely disqualifying. Absolutely not. And yeah, it's already out of warranty and whatnot. 100,000 miles on a naturally aspirated ECU tuned car, that thing's ready to die. That's my guess, and also one of the reasons why it only went for 16 grand. You win.
All right. Excellent.
And you get 1 season point for your trouble.
Excellent.
And then you bring me a Mickey.
I'll bring you a Mickey, and I will take a Kit Kat.
Please do. So that is 1 season point for It's a Trap. I believe that brings him 2 for 2 now on the Bring a Trailer Challenge. Mickey.
Hello.
Pull up a chair. How was your Radical SR8 experience?
I really liked that car, actually. Oh, the steering was heavy on it, but like
What
once
what did you have your wheel configured at?
I believe it's a 10,
Okay,
10 or 15.
it's a workout at 10, so like
Yeah.
no heroism necessary.
Yeah, it was quite a bit, but once I got the feel for it, like I really enjoyed that car. I think it's my favorite one we've driven so far.
Really, out of everything we've driven so far,
I think out of everything we've driven so far, yeah.
I will keep that in mind. Your challenge for tonight is a neon sign of the Porsche logo or one whole ass 911. Would you like some details?
Yeah.
This neon Porsche crest sign is a reproduction. So whatever they're reproducing, it's not even the original of that. This is from a shop that basically only does this in Boca in Florida. They make reproduction automotive logo neon signs. Like you don't really get a sense of scale from that picture. This is a 33-inch by 24-inch wide and 8-inch deep. It's in a metal enclosure. It's got mounting holes on the back. It takes 120 volt from the wall. But at the end of the day, it is a 3-foot by 2-foot neon sign.
Okay.
All right. The 911 is a 996 911 with 52,000 miles on it. And when you say 996 911, if you're a Porsche person, the first thing you think to yourself is, oh shit, has it had its intermediate shaft bearings replaced? Because that is the big Achilles heel of the non-GT3 996 911s. And the answer is yes, it had those replaced in 2021, the IMS shaft bearing was... Oh, no, I'm sorry. May 2017, the IMS shaft bearing. So it lived its life with the bearing for 18 years, and then they got it fixed. They don't mention whether it suffered any engine damage as a result of that. However, having Conan effectively owned this car for, or rather his wife did for a while, and I can tell you from having driven it on Skyline, the 996 is still a quintessential Porsche. It feels amazing to drive, even though this is only a 300-horse variant, naturally aspirated. Again, 52,000 miles, guards red, which is very common. And that's basically it. It's got a clean title. It's a 5-speed automatic, which I don't think makes it the most desirable of 911s for any generation. But your fundamental choice is still the same here: a Porsche neon sign or a whole ass 911.
I know a guy that does custom neon signs in Seattle, and they are outrageously expensive. They're so much money.
Why?
It's, I actually really couldn't tell you. It doesn't seem like it's that bad to do. He's very happy with his job. He does very well.
So he professionally, he makes neon signs.
Yeah, this is his whole shtick.
So if he was watching tonight, he could counsel you what was going on here.
He would tell me what's what. Porsche people can get a little bit funny about their memorabilia. I know
that was the theme of the first week: is Porsche people are nuts.
Yeah, but I think sign on its own is expensive, but not Porsche expensive. I really want to say the sign, but the car just should be more. Let's go with the neon sign.
We're gonna go with the neon sign.
Yeah, I'll roll the dice on that one.
All right. So Twindigo says it's 911. I actually don't remember, and so I'm going to discover with you.
Okay.
It's the car. It's the car
Good.
by almost $20,000, $17,500. Yeah, like no, it's like the moral of this story here is not the price difference. It's the fact that neon sign sold for $7,500, and the one they did for Aston sold for like $7,500, and the one they did for like Ford sold for like $6,000. Like, these people just pump out neon signs and make 10 grand every time one rolls off the line.
Yeah, that's wild. It was what, 30 by 24 by 6?
It's a 3-foot by 2-foot sign.
Okay. Yeah, I would have thought like 1,500 or $2,000 maybe. 75 is wild.
So for all of you who are out there watching and wonder, know that you have made the wrong career decision and you still have time to become a neon signsmith. Mickey, unfortunately, that is no points for you today. And I don't think you got a point last week either.
I did get a point last week.
You did get a point. Okay. So you're 1 for 2, and you need to bring me Space Punies.
All right.
Thank you. 7,500 bucks. it's mind blowing to me. Welcome.
Hello.
How was your Radical SR8 experience?
I was very overwhelmed at first with all of the footwork that I needed to do.
And you're on a 15 newton meter wheel?
Yeah. Yeah, and that is by far the most forceful wheel of any car so far. So that was, when I was saying it was a dogfight, it was like keeping that in control was insane.
No, and when it when you take the curb or hit the hot dog, like you feel every piece of that. It's
or just
insane.
losing a little bit of traction. It's like you better catch this quick or you're going to be in a world of hurt.
When we did R&D before the season, like that was kind of our development platform, and that's where we made the call that like we can't let people do 15 newton meters in retail. It's just like you're chumming for a lawsuit. Your challenge for the night
Okay.
is a 14,000 mile Bentley Continental
Okay.
or the Taycan Turbo S of the 2020 variety. So that's the first generation there. Let me get you some details here.
Okay.
The Bentley at 14,000 miles, it's finished in blue crystal. Obviously, it's a twin turbo 4-liter V8. It was purchased by the seller in 16 and since then driven 4,000 of the 14,000 miles indicated. By Xenon's blue convertible soft top, park distance control, backup camera, all the bells and whistles you might otherwise expect. Clean Carfax. It's a New York title, which means if it was brought out in the winter, it has been exposed to salt, although I'm not sure why you would bring a Continental out in the winter. The soft top hinge and a Bowden cable was replaced when the top was repaired in September 21.
It's a classic repair for those.
No reason for the repair. Brake fluid flush, everything's heated, dual zone control. That is a 520 horsepower, 500 foot-pound V8. So the thing is monstrous, which it needs to be since last I checked, the Continental weighed like 4,500 pounds or something freaking ridiculous. The Taycan, on the other hand, 2020, so the first set of those. This is the Turbo S, so it's the top trim that they make for this. It is Carrera white over chalk leather, which is a pretty cool spec in my opinion. It's got the LED matrix headlights, PDLS, and the composite brakes, which like when you're also doing most of your braking via regeneration, I'm not sure why you care about the carbon ceramics, but here we are. These are aftermarket Mission E 21-inch wheels, harking back to the prototype, or rather the concept car for this line. It was purchased by the seller in 22, has 8,000 miles, and is now offered with an accident-free Carfax report and a Colorado title. And because this is the platform partner of my RS downstairs, I can also tell you that it is an 800-volt electric. It will go from 0 to 80% charge in about 20 minutes, under 270 watts of output. And in that trim, on good rubber, so not what it chips with, but like Sport 4S's or Sport Cups or something, it will do like a 2.7 off the line, which is kind of dumb.
That's fast.
It's extremely
That's
fast. And so you have to decide which of these two puppies went for more money.
Okay.
Tell
I'm wondering if it like I have no idea honestly about like the prices on these cars, but I feel like the theme of this bring a trailer is it's right in front of your face.
Are you telling me I've given you an obvious choice?
Well, like yeah, but like it's too obvious where you're like I should choose the other one because there's probably something up, but then it's like you're playing yourself out of the game. That it's just right in front of your face. So I want to say the Porsche. And always bet on Porsche anyways, no matter what it's up against. That's why the last one was difficult because it's Porsche against Porsche. Who knows what someone's going to pay? So I think I'll stick to my guns and go with the Taycan.
All right, the call is the Taycan, and I hope you're right because
the Bentley went for that much. Wow.
So there's a couple things working against the Bentley here, not least of which is the 11-year age.
Yeah.
The fact that it's far out of warranty. It's not like a fantastically easy car to maintain, especially in the United States. That I actually don't think is necessarily the big message here. The big message here is that Taycan is only 4 years old, and it cost another
Yeah.
100 grand over the top
I was gonna say that drop was huge.
of like that number right there. And there's a couple of factors at play here, but I think personally the biggest one is the fact that we are kind of standing on the precipice of the solid state battery revolution. And Porsche and Audi, when they developed that platform, made a lot of decisions about what they wanted to prioritize, and range was not one of them. And so while 245 miles, which is the absolute maximum you can put on that thing, it's great as a city car. It's not great as a touring car, especially with Lucids and other shit coming out. Some of the
Yeah.
Benzes with 530 miles on them. And so, like, yeah, you've got this 2.7 second launch. But as I say to everyone who holds that up as kind of their, like the Tesla Plaid people and the Cybertruck people, it's like, yes, but where are you going to use that? What are you going to do with that? There are a million better things than the difference between a 2.9 and a 2.7 second launch.
Just show it to your friends on a piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly. Check this out. Yeah.
can do
So
this.
I think that's what's happened there. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the solid state battery revolution. It's not going to do nice things to every other electric car that's out there right now. So thank you, Space Punies.
Yeah.
That gets you 1 season point.
Yes,
And please bring me Drain.
will do. But first,
Yes,
a
please
Kit Kat.
take a Kit Kat.
I need my sugar.
I would really appreciate it if there were no Kit Kats left in this studio before we close down for the night.
I can help with that process of production.
I hope we don't have anybody diabetic here. Drain.
Mara.
The last time you were up here,
Yes.
you asked me a question. You said, did you set this challenge up for me? And I said, no, Drain.
Of course not.
It is random allocations of challenges for drivers. Tonight I changed that and I did you a solid. This one is
Okay.
explicitly for you.
Okay.
Have a Kit Kat. You ready? It is a 2023
Ooh.
Gladiator Rubicon diesel or a Vortec-powered 67 Scout. Would you like to hear about them?
Yes, please.
All right, here we go. The Jeep. 2,700 miles, which is not an awful lot, even for a 2023. This is a diesel-powered 3-liter. It's been modified with a King lift kit, 20-inch fuel wheels. Those are 37-inch Nitto tires, a fishbone off-road spare tire mount, a winch, power-operated running boards, a variety of exterior lights and accessories that have been wired up to their own LED-activated control screen, so they're not using the aux button rail at the bottom of the JL. Interior, removable Sunrider soft top, power locking tailgate, tow hooks, rock rails, front buckets, park view backup camera, an Alpine premium sound system, automatic climate control, Uconnect, which is the worst infotainment system in the business. Stellantis Group, I'm talking directly to you. 2,700 miles, clean Carfax, Pennsylvania title, so salt's a factor. Finished in black. I think we went over all the big stuff here. They've changed out a whole bunch of the instrumentation. It's also got electronic roll mitigation, a trailer sway control module.
For all that towing you do with a Jeep.
For all that towing you do with a Jeep, and it's technically class 2 hitch at the back, but we know the reality. So again, 3-liter eco diesel V6. It was rated at 260 horse and 440 foot-pounds. It had an oil change in 24. The Scout. Spent time in Arizona, undefined, before being acquired by the seller. This is a body-off full refurbishment. Involved installing a Vortec 5.3-liter V8, which is a Chevy small block used in their trucks and vans, a 4L60E 4-speed automatic, which is, of course, nowhere close to what it used to be carrying. The body has been repainted gray with white stripes. It's got a dual-range transfer case, Dana 44s on both the front and rear axles, Mickey Thompson 33-inch tires, a 2.5-inch suspension lift, Bilstein shocks, front discs, stainless headers, a 2.5 exhaust system, power steering, which I don't think the Scout had power steering, did it?
Not that year.
An air conditioning system, ISS Pro gauges, a Pioneer touchscreen head unit, full reverse camera. This was a full body and frame separation during the refurbishment. They were blasted and treated with rhino linings, which I believe is a rubber type thing.
It's very tough and hard. Yeah.
Removable white hardtop, reinforced tow hooks and D-rings. The cabin features TMI product front bucket seats, a rear bench trimmed in black leather. Someone went nuts on this thing, I
Yeah.
guess is what I'm trying to say. All-wheel drive, obviously, and the transmission is controlled by a Bluetooth pulse generator, something I have never heard before stitched together into a sentence.
Okay.
And so your theme here is these are both ridiculously modified examples of what they are.
What was the mileage on each one of the, or did they say it?
So the mileage on the Jeep was, I want to say 2,700.
2,700.
And again, the Scout has 100 miles on its replacement odometer.
Okay.
And so, like, what?
Who knows?
What? Yeah, like it is unknowable. It's
It's basically a new vehicle.
it is
right
a
now, so.
rebuild.
While that is a very fancy Jeep, because Volkswagen is bringing back the Scout, and they just announced it probably before this went up to auction, I'm going to go with the Scout. Also because if I don't pick the Scout and I'm wrong, I will be very upset. So,
So you're making a bit of an emotional choice here.
yes, 100%.
All right. As our drivers come out and get themselves potted in for the final race, we are going to learn your fate, Drain. Ready?
Keep my 0 streak alive.
It is a $24,000 difference in the Scout's favor. So here's my question to you, Drain. Assuming that a body that old or a frame that old is worth $0, do you think that there's $80,000 worth of parts on that car?
Yes.
Yeah?
A frame off resto with all those things, Dana 44s front and back. It's probably locked. New upholstery. Yeah, 100%. That's worth $80,000.
All right. So
Backup camera on both. Yeah.
So you're welcome. You finally got one that was built for you.
Woo.
All right. We are going to get our drivers loaded in to the next race. But before we do that, let's talk about what we're actually going to do here. Doot. Sliding ahead.
Indeed.
I believe that's me. And let's get the deck back up. Ah, there we go. So, our final car for the night is the incredible Audi R18, which is nothing short of a revolution to the arena of prototype racing. It allowed Audi, well, we'll get to that in a second. It follows the Audi R15 and the R10, neither of which were particular slouches in their time. It's a 4-liter turbocharged diesel and a front-mounted electric motor in tandem, so one of the first hybrid LMP cars. The R18 can put out 800 foot-pounds of torque with everything engaged. It won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 4 times consecutively in 2011, 12, 13, and 14. Think about that. Absolutely untouched in the world of prototype development for 4 years. And now, obviously, Audi ran like 3 or 4 teams of through that, but one of their cars came out on top. And in fact, for 2 years, it was a 1-2 finish. For a year, it was a 1-3 finish. So they were absolutely doing the numbers.
Wow. Well, the track. We're going to take the R18 out onto one of the best tracks in motorsport, Suzuka International. Frequently, it's the last track in the Formula One season. It's where everything gets decided, at least anything that wasn't decided elsewhere. So it's got a bunch of stuff on it. It's got a figure 8 overpass layout with equal clockwise and counterclockwise sections. It's got sweepers, S curves. It's got a nice first gear hairpin in it.
That left.
Ooh. It's got a Ferris wheel. I mean, you could race somewhere else, but why would you?
And I completely agree with that. I think Suzuka is by far my favorite track to race anything faster than a Miata on. So, with that said, we are going to get everybody out there to run the feature race. I think we need to get Trap potted in. Trap, do me a favor and just confirm for me once you are actually in the session whether you have the advanced buttons set up. Oh, it looks like it's already going to qualify. We are certainly behind schedule tonight. Well, best of luck. One of the saving graces of the R18 in this context is it is a car that Audi has made incredibly easy to drive fast. And so while you should definitely start with it gingerly, it rewards continuous aggression. Now, you're probably seeing that the steering wheel on the R18 has 150 different switches, dials, lights, numbers, and doodads. We have replicated some of the critical ones on our setup here, such as brake bias, traction control, defeat, and a couple of other bits and pieces. I'm going to be honest, I didn't actually expect Space Peonies to pull that out, but here he did. Again, a car that's easy to drive fast, and assuming that you don't break it loose, will pull you out through all sorts of problems. Our drivers have 8 minutes remaining on their qualify until they each turn in a clean lap, and so we're gonna quiet it up and see what happens.
Ooh, that looks uneasy.
Aren't these diesel?
They are diesel. They are hybrid turbo diesels. In fact, that was part of the big radical "what the hell is Audi doing" back when the R10 first came out. It was like, hold on, they're racing diesels and LMP. Space Peonies entering his hot lap. I don't think he had the best exit from the last turn there, but this is one of those courses where you can make it all up. Taking the late line through there and into the S's. Trying to remember whether the S's are increasing in radius or decreasing in radius, and I can tell you pretty confidently they're decreasing in radius. The R18 capable of being flat through here and clipping a large portion of this corner without getting weird. And then one of my least favorite turns in motorsport, despite it being my favorite track. Take it in second with a little throttle input and then hit it. Space Peonies clearing 170 before having to rein it in. He's taking a non-conventional route through the turn and now on the straight. We will see how the stock gearing and setup will do with this arrow for a max speed through the straight. I guarantee you this upcoming left can be taken flat out. Scary. The white flag is out, which means he gets one more, but he's not going to need it because he's going to turn in a 150 even here. Oh, no, here's the real line. Excuse me. Trap doing a little gardening. Mickey going to the beach. Drain also taking a non-standard route through that turn, about to hit the straight. And the last chicane. Drain getting his white flag. Go, go, go. Good entry through there. Race control calling that lap abnormal. Mickey in the final chicane. Oh, loses the rear, but recovers it without rearranging the furniture.
Slow down. You got a penalty for cutting the course.
We'll let the agony and pain speak for itself on that one. Space Beauty's bringing it into the pit. The R18 being a car that does not have an AI model in iRacing, and so they will be out there with just themselves when they get to the get to the race.
Apparently, don't lift on that left-hander.
Yeah, no, it's you have to write down and put on a post-it note next to the monitor. I can take this flat out.
Stay in
It's
it.
just even in this simulated environment, it requires more courage than is frequently on hand. Oh, Mickey gets it sideways, almost arrests it.
Forgot this car gets very cranky once it's off track.
Got put into a pendulum situation there. Mickey, it'll let you back in if you wanna keep qualifying. You've got 2 minutes 20 on the clock. You might. Well, I guess you won't be able to turn in a full hot lap, I suppose. But you don't have to spend it in the pit, I guess, is what I'm telling you.
Up that time.
Unless you really want to.
All right, there's the checkered flag.
Drain taking the compound left in his last run at the straight here. Will his courage hold? Oh no. Importantly, no pit speeding violation.
For those following along at home, I have joined the 15 Newton meter club.
The pit speed limiter does work.
Drink Coca-Cola Zero. Engage with brands.
We get the Oreo Coke.
Is that a thing?
Sure is. Then there's Coke flavored Oreos, I think.
You're just making shit up now.
We're just like manifest these into the world.
No, I've seen it.
And I
There's
believe
there's some gross flavor Oreo.
that should be the end of the yep, 4 seconds left on the qualifier, which means we are about to grid in.
I definitely didn't set a time.
Gentlemen, best of luck. Now you get to do it for real.
All right.
Just keep it slow, keep it steady. Almost bit with the oversteer, but pulls it back in, keeping pace through the S's. There's no shame in backing off in here to keep the car together. And then really letting it have it through this segment. Super aggressive through the hairpin and eats it. A tough price to pay. Drain holds it together through the compound left. Gets on it a little later.
That was 2 in it.
Already pushing 185. Really hold through the left. No, locks the wheels. From the driver's point of view, it looks almost slow. It's important to pay attention to the speedo at the bottom there to see the ridiculous numbers going up almost instantaneously. Space Punies through the S's. Good line setting up that last one. Gets on it just in time. How wide will he take the hairpin? Loses the fronts, but recoverable. Wheel to wheel out here in Mickey Land. Ooh, almost contact. That hairpin slaying people today. Mickey with the aggressive move to the inside, pulls it off. Will he get on the hammer fast enough? He is pulling away. All of a sudden, it now matters how hard they hold through this turn. Oh, drain.
That was my bad. Sorry.
Don't worry, folks. That wasn't a real tire going across the roadway. It's just a simulated tire. Mickey recovers. Drain graciously giving up a sportsmanship position there, keeping this a fight.
And it didn't matter.
Momentarily. Space Puny struggling through the S's there, but keeps it under control. Comes out at 150. For my least favorite right-handers. Everyone so far has gone wide through this hairpin. It was a decent line. With a car that goes from 0 to 100 in the time it takes to blink your eye, you can afford to set up the good racing line and not worry so much about getting on the hammer early. All right, up for the courage test. $180, 85, holds 171 through there, not bad. That was a fast, fast sweep. Trap out there breaking a buck 50, reining it in for the compound left. Courage test, 150, 160, 170. Brings it down to get through. Just going to keep bouncing back and forth between people who are taking that straight. That is what I've chosen to do with my time. Space Beauty's in the compound left, getting another run at it. Excuse me, now on the compound left, making another run at it. $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70. He got through at 174 last time. Hold it down at 188. Clears it at 175, does not lift. Very nice. And then, of course, has to throw all that kinetic energy away and mow the lawn. Let's go wander through here and take a look at the standings and the lap times. Space Puny's turned in a 146, but we do not have a best lap on the indicator here because so far every lap has been what we would call abnormal. Sitting 47 seconds in front of Mickey in Pod 3, who has in fact turned in a clean lap with a 157. And is also sitting 9 seconds in front of Drain in Pod 4, who has turned in a clean 159 last lap and is actually within striking distance of It's a Trap, who's about to make his gut check through the turn. Brings it down to 140. Clean entry into the chicane. Clean exit from the chicane. Looks like Space Puny's actually just turned in a clean lap. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The person in position 2. That was Mickey. Mickey bringing it down to 152. The drivers are improving.
It's all that chicane. The hairpin.
My goodness. Mickey getting a little fishtaily through the S's. Exactly. Morale has sufficiently improved. Through the right-hand kinks, and now we're going to see yet another attempt at the hairpin. Brings it down to 50. Excellent. He has to be happy with that. Following Mickey through the sweep into the double left. Takes that a little far inside, apexing early. Not the most optimal exit, but again, on this car, he's already at 170. We've seen 175 through that turn today. Mickey bringing it way down. Leaving approximately 100 miles an hour on the table. And doing some light gardening. While he's getting himself sorted out. With 10 minutes on the clock, Drain is hunting It's a Trap with a 5-second gap. You can see him just at the other end of the straight there, and that straight's going to go by at the blink of an eye. Drain turning in a clean 159 flat. And entering the S's. Smooth better than fast through here, I suppose is often the case. It's all about setting up that last one. Because this is the one that matters right here. Trap in an unfortunate gardening incident, putting Drain into third. Beginning to hear the rattles in the creaks behind me. I have a feeling that 20 minutes of 180 miles an hour has finally knocked the pods loose. So we're going to have to do a full tune-up session before Wednesday night, which also happens to be tomorrow. I should probably get on the script for that. Trap through the hairpin. Trap with Drain behind him and Mickey in front of him, about 8-second gap in each case. With 8 minutes remaining, that's a lot of room to maneuver. Space Beauty's coming through. And Space Beauty's having the opportunity to set our new record through this sweeper here. Record in quotes, because it's only what I can see. Holding 177. And this time, not eating it in the chicane entry. What a day! His last lap was a 1:44.3. He could improve on that here. 1:43 flat. Checking back in on the fight in Drainland. He's now a lap ahead of Trap because of that unfortunate lawn mowing accident, but he's got 22 seconds to make up on Mickey. Who is holding a relatively consistent pace. But getting way too aggressive through the compound left. It's not an easy turn. But people tonight seem to be consistently overcooking it versus undercooking it. Excellent through the chicanes, just a little overturn there. Checking on a little rattle. Five minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the future race 2, which is of course for season points. Say Space Punies entering the S's. Again, the key through these is smoothness. Once the pendulum gets started, it's hard to arrest. Excellent time and line through there, using all the course. And into the hairpin. Nice wide entrance. Touches the apex. Little wide at the exit there. Very close. Through the compound left. Brings it back out, then brings it back in. Already doing 150. Will he hold? $175. Excellent line through the chicane. Picks it right back up, doing 120, 130 on the 150 on the exit curve. Space Punies putting up the numbers here. Trap taking a little trip to the beach, but bringing it back out. Will he go flat out through the left? 155, respectable. Too much, too early. However, these multi-million-dollar research and development vehicles are set up to be impervious in this feature race, so the more the merrier. That seems to be the turn that everyone has taken way too hot today. Two minutes 38 on the clock. Space Punies with a almost one lap, but not quite one lap lead on Mickey. He needs to stay calm through the last lap here. Beautiful entry into the S's. Setting up for that last one. Excellent. That last section there can actually be taken wide. Oh, what a recovery. Puts it back together. Alas, in our final minute, no one is within striking distance of anyone else unless a massive mistake is made. Which is still possible. Drain through the hairpin. Nice wide entry. Touches the apex. Wanted a hair early, but otherwise good. And now for the compound left that seems to be eating people alive tonight. First segment fine, needs a little bit of brake just to settle it down, comes back out. Very nice. On the hammer, early 150. Last chance for heroism on this left. Ready, 5, 6. Drain, you're really going to lose your shit when you realize you don't have to break through there at all. Here, on the other hand,
Flag. Stay smooth.
it is difficult as a normal human driver with experience in driving normal human cars to comprehend how much downforce is doing for you at those sorts of speeds. Most of us, theme park rides aside, don't get to regularly experience 3 lateral Gs, which is what you can do when all the downforce is running. Trap with an excellent 155 through there. Brings it in for the last chicane. Takes a little bit of corner, but pulls it back out. What do we got here? We got 4 white flag laps. We are in the twilight of Suzuka. Not even sure what that means. And we're seeing checkers for Space Punies. Congratulations, Space Punies, for a clean victory on Feature Race 2, as he gets all sloppy out there. Mickey bringing it in with a strong second. Drain crossing the line in 3rd. And Trap doing a little bit of a helicopter impression. For putting it back together for a strong finish. If this seems like a lot of work, in their natural element, these cars are doing this for 24 straight hours. $150, $160. Holds 153 through the turn, very nice. Coming up to the final chicane. Almost home, miss home. All right, we are across the line. Space Punies and Mickey thoughtfully bringing up the results screen for me to double check my math and make sure that I did this right, because it would not be the first time I have screwed up the scoring. That's first place, Space Punies, followed by Mickey, followed by Drain, followed by Trap. Well done, everyone. That looked like quite the marathon. Go ahead and hop out of your pods and avail yourself of a beverage in the green room as we close out. Trap, tell me all about it.
Yeah, that hairpin is as advertised. It's don't take it too fast or it's going to be a bad exit.
The consistent, and I hate to use the word error or even miscalculation because we're all here doing this for fun. The persistent thing I see on this track is either A, people are diving for the apex of the hairpin way too early. And so rather than taking a big circle and making a bigger circle out of it, they're taking a circle and making a V out of it, which is why everybody winds up in that wall. And then at the compound left before the long straight, people not really realizing that, like, no, you do need to brake in the middle of the compound left, or you will go wide and mow the lawn in the section. And that is, like, if race time is area under the curve, like, being able to pass through that last sweeper at 185 versus having to pass through it at 165 is all the difference in the world. That 20 miles an hour adds up over that distance. It's an incredibly challenging course. I love it so much. It is fun to drive slow. It is fun to drive fast. And I guess, like, the one regret I have for the format that we do here is that there's just not enough time for everybody to spend out there and get familiar with the ins and outs of the traction control system and shifting the brake bias forwards and backwards and telling the stability management that maybe it doesn't have to intervene there, but it does have to intervene here, messing with suspension and kinetic energy recovery. All of which is to say, the show isn't the best format for all types of racing, but we're definitely here to show you all of them. And so with that said, I believe that is all the time we have tonight on Tonight We Race. Shout out to our excellent drivers and our excellent co-host. Also all the volunteers and support people that make this silliness possible.
As always, Tonight We Race is a community activity. We play as a community, we talk as a community, and we frequently source our content from the community. So that means we want to hear from you. The best place for that is our Discord. It's linked in the About section of this channel. If you can keep your nose clean on the track and your language clean around the kids, we'd love for you to add your wheels to our cold open races. The Discord is where you get that information.
We do drop a couple of F-bombs from time to time, and maybe we need to police that. You may have noticed that we have these racing pods here, and every so often, more often than not, Saturday, one or more of them is empty for a show. I recently discovered last Saturday what it means to both host and drive a pod, and so I have every amount of sympathy here for Trap, who's having to do double duty here. It is savage having to go back and forth in that brain space. Anyway, sometimes we have empty pods. If you reside in the greater Seattle area, are over the age of 18, play well with others, can be scheduled reliably, and are willing to sign a code of conduct, liability waiver, talent release, there may be some pod time for you. This is a volunteer role. You help us make the show more interesting, and you get to sit in the bouncy chair. The chairs that have been bouncing so much today in the prototypes that we are going to need to do a full nuts and bolts pass on every pod before we can put them back in operation tomorrow night, which is, of course, Wednesday night when the GT4 League is running, and we will see what there is to see then. In the meantime, if any of this is interesting to you, the Discord is, of course, where you get started, and we will see all of you tomorrow night on Tonight We Race. Thank you, everyone. We are out.